Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever. My name is Bigfoot, and today we're on White Valley. As we can see, I have gone ahead and closed Kendal Airport, and I've done the exact same with the town of Doncaster's airport, and the reason for this is because I needed to upgrade them from single runways to double runway airports, and this allows for, hopefully in the future, less queues. I was having a lot of unprofitable routes just due to the fact in the sky they weren't doing very well because, they had a lot of passengers on them, but they weren't reaching their full capacity based on the fact that they were getting into bother. And I've gone ahead and addressed that, and we're going to go ahead and get a lot of these planes flying again today. Typically what I want to do throughout the whole map is if an airport has more than 2 routes in it, it needs to go to a double runway setup. That's really what it needs to do, and if it's not got that, then it's going to struggle. There is going to be too many queues at airports, and that means things are just really going to slow down. They're not going to be able to reach their full profitability, and it's just all going to suffer, unfortunately. But that is something which I want to go ahead and, I guess, sort out now. So let's go ahead and reassign planes. I had to unassign planes just due to the fact that I needed to be able to delete the airports, and I can't upgrade from medium to large. It's a total separate build you need to do, and to get the airports to be able to destroyed, I need no planes flying on the routes. I need to get rid of all the planes, and that's why this large operation has happened. Okay, so we're reassigning planes on Kendal, so we need Hetton to Kendal now, which is good to see. So this should also go ahead and increase frequencies and the rates as well. That's something which I'm looking for. Now I realise some of these routes did have like Lufthansa planes on them. That is something which I am looking to also upgrade. Planes are always an ongoing problem, that's really what they are. And I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with them. So I know that this route here, the Doncaster to HB, was a very good route, so I'm going to go ahead and put Lufthansas on those. I don't think we'd put Lufthansas on any other routes for the time being, so that is what I'm going to have to leave it as right now. Let's go ahead and buy 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put these onto the Doncaster Hetton. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't going to go ahead and relieve all issues on the planes, it's just not. There is still going to be queues at airports, but there shouldn't be very long queues for that matter, and the only time planes really should be stopping on the ground, it's more not even queues it's going to be, it's just to cross over runways, because right now some planes might wait here if there's a plane taking off in the middle runway, so planes that have arrived in might wait, but that's the only thing I can see happening. But we'll come back and monitor this as the episode goes on. Right now there's currently one route which is in the profit. One airplane route, though I'm expecting now to go to about 4 or 5 as things slightly change. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to have to split some routes up because I've just got too many people on, just waiting on too many trains. This is the sad truth. As we can see, we've got this train coming in. I am going to go ahead and upgrade this route and see if it makes a difference, but I think some routes we just need to break down because they're just too busy. That is the thing. So what have we got here? Bangor, Spalding. Amazingly, we've only got 4 trains on this, which isn't high enough number just based on how far apart the towns are. But I also want to go ahead and, one, just because we've got so much money, and this route makes 42 million amazingly, we're going to double upgrade the train. So what this means is, again, I've done this on another route actually, which we can go ahead and see how it's done. I'm basically putting 2 of the same train back to back, and allowing for it to be a little bit more efficient, I think would be the best way to describe it, yeah. So let's go ahead and replace this now. So what's going to happen is this train here, it's not going to upgrade just because it's on the pickup here. But what it will do, the next time it arrives in at the town of Bangor, it's going to go ahead and double in size. And that's hopefully going to help clear this backlog, just because it is way too high in general. While I'm at it though, I do want to go ahead and add in some more trains onto this route anyway, just because of the fact that, I mean, there's not enough frequency on this route either, to be honest, so that's something which we can address with just an additional single Stadler Flirt. That should make some difference going forward. Right, so that is this route gone ahead and been sorted out. What we're going to do in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to focus on goods again. that is something which I want to do. So this is, what route is this? Banger to Spalding is what it is. Right, so I'm hoping to see some differences on there. As we can see, Spalding is a very busy station, and it's mainly with regards to that route. As we can see, the train going to Newton isn't even full, which is nice to see. Okay, so things are picking up over here, which is nice to see. Newton's a portage. There is quite a lot of demand for that, which is good. Not really too much for Telscom right now, but hopefully things will change. Currently this is staying as a one runway airport just because of the fact that there is only 2 routes coming into it, so there's not a lot of traffic issues, which I'm happy to announce. Things are pretty crazy right here. Right, I've got a problem which we need to resolve, and I noticed it at the end of the last episode. So, as we can see here, fuel is now coming via here, because of the fact that I've not automatically assigned food routes to be food routes, and it's now starting to divert fuel via other places, and it's just not what I'm wanting at all. So we're going to go ahead and sort this out. So let's go for G Fordwich Food. It's these automatic trucks which I've gone ahead and put on. You can also take fuel, it turns out, whereas I really only want to take foods on all of these. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back to containers. We are going to go ahead and assign you guys all foods. And this is the difference which is just going to have to happen. If it's a food route, it should carry food trucks. That's the bottom line. So we're going to go ahead and replace these now. Now, we also have issues here with the Thaxted food as well, which I can go ahead and change to. So this is Thaxted foods. It is very profitable, but it's just not doing what I want it to do. So we will keep, I mean, there's 7 compartments. The only reason I changed there to a different kind of truck is because I have to do this 7 times, whereas with the other Scania trucks only have to do it 4 times. That's me being lazy, I guess. But let's go ahead and make that the replacement and do that now. Right, so that should clear up some of that stuff there. Hopefully. Things are doing really, really well here, and I'm quite happy about it. There should be much more production coming out of here, which is good. As we can see, this train is nowhere near full though, which is disappointing, but the production out of there is higher, that is one note. Also, the production is super high here. I have added in more trucks, though I'm not really at all sure how they are doing. It looks like there's not much demand to go to Kendal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump you over to a different route. So you can go on to maybe Goldmine instead. Where is Goldmine? G. I really should read instead of just scrolling. Goldmine fuel. Right, that'll hopefully make some difference there going forward. Again, it's really just because we've got a nice high production rate. Just because we've got the 3 trains operating on here now. Okay, so it looks like, why is there also crude oil? There should never be crude oil coming through here. We've sorted out Thaxted food, which is good, but this is also causing us problems here too. It's wanting to move crude oil on the boats, and that's something which I'm not for by any means. So let's go ahead and make some changes here. We need to jump into automatic replacements. We need to go ahead and... it's not giving me an option to filter by freight, which is frustrating. I'm looking for the... can we use the Merlin? It's not the Merlin, it's the Viola, isn't it? And then you're just going to be pure fuel, aren't you? Pure fuel. Right, okay, so that's good. So we can now go ahead and replace that now. And as the map gets bigger, you have to start to do stuff like this, unfortunately. It's just the way things go. It wants to go ahead. The game thinks it knows what's right, and it's not. And if you don't put those strict rules into play, it will go ahead and try and do what's best. And to be honest, it might be doing what's best, but I don't want to mix and match routes. Something I just don't want to do in the slightest. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, what is up here? Jeez, oh. I mean, 400 people want to... I need to split this route up, because the thing is, I already have double trains on this route. It is crazy. So if we filter by T. Burnham, Maidstone, we've already got trains which can carry 450 people, but I think the issue is here going forward is that it's so long in between all these 3 towns, such a long train journey, I'm going to need to split it into 2. Because things aren't working out in the slightest here, are they? They are not. Right, what we're going to do then is we're going to just reassign platforms, honestly. That's what we need to do, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you come into there, like that. So you're going to use platform 2, and then we're going to have this train line here. You're going to merge into there like so. Then what we need is we need a signal on approach here. So this is just a small change we're going to have to make. Sometimes it's just what needs to happen to go ahead and curve and play with efficiencies. Because this train is empty, for example, but I think it's to do with train spacing as well. But if we go ahead and have shorter train routes, then that will make the difference entirely. Okay, so this route here is going to go from Telscombe into the town of Burnham. So this is T, this is Burnham, and this is Telscombe, which is fine. Right, okay, so that's now done. Now what we need to do is take this, rename this Maidstone Telscombe, Maidstone to Telscombe, and now we need to go ahead and basically reassign trains slowly but surely. So with this being Maidstone Telscombe, I need to basically identify what trains are on the Telscombe Burnham Straits, or section, and then we need to go ahead and make that change. As we can see here, I think trains are just a little bit too full, which is understandable. Right, I'm going to pause you, because you're going to now switch over, and you're going to go onto... Actually, you're probably best switching, and you're going to jump over onto the new Burnham to Telscombe. As is this train here, to be honest, going forward. So you're going to jump onto the route as well, which is fine and dandy. So Burnham, Telscombe, right, so that's 2 trains onto there now. So that means there's a split of 3 and 2 going forward, which is a bit better. But again, I don't know if these numbers are going to add up or things are going to work out. What we also need to do is modify this route right now. So you need to go ahead and no longer stop at Burnham, and no longer stop at Telscombe twice. So now this is now going to cause me issues in this station here. Fortunately, it's automatically updated itself, and that means now things are good to go forward. Trains are probably in the wrong place now, which is something, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very quickly going to go ahead and resolve. Now, with that done, I believe we're now sorted. I believe we've gone ahead and completed the upgrade. So in general, now things should go ahead and drop. That's what I'm really looking for. Numbers to go ahead and drop down. With regards to this, there shouldn't be a signal there. That is for sure. Though, you know to stop there, which is fine. You should stop. You should never stop over a crossing. That is one thing. But hopefully that should go ahead and really just reduce numbers now. And I will go ahead and actually downgrade the trains at a later stage, which should be good. Naturally, just due to the amount of people on this map now, we're going to start to do that. For example, we've got a train which currently runs from here. I imagine it's the most busiest now. Kendal to Maidstone. Not Kendal to Maidstone. Yeah, Kendal to Maidstone. It's got one... Well, it stops at the airport. Then it also stops here, which isn't ideal at all, and then it also stops at Kendal. Too many stops, we need to break it down. The capacities are just not ideal in the slightest, which I'm going to have to change, but that's something I'll naturally do as time goes on. As we can see, Kendal Airport now much busier, which is good to see. This airport's doing quite well as well. Lots of people want to go to Portishead, and then over at Doncaster, things are also relatively not too bad here too. A quick look at the planes, and as we can see, there's only one route in the profit, but I think that's not going to be like that for long. I really don't. As we can see now, a lot of routes are starting to consistently fly, and I'm liking to see where they're at. There is some good numbers here, which is good. Anyway, we're going to start on a large project this episode as I look around the map. Things are crazy. I will sort a lot of this out, yeah, at some point. But I was talking about this project at the end of the last episode. So currently the buses really on these routes have reached their full capacity. If we go ahead and have a look here, we've got just too many people moving. So if we filter by buses is what I want to do. So I should see bus routes at the top here, but it's because we need to filter by line. So currently right now this route is crazy. It's got so many people wanting to travel on it, the Coburn to Hetton via bus. I've got so many buses on it as well, a super large fleet. I can't really increase the frequency by much. As we can see here, this crossover is extremely busy as well. Not good enough, not ideal. And it's just due to the rate. The rate is not good enough. Then if we continue down here, for example, as we can see, very much it's a similar sort of thing. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and build a new kind of railway line. As I said, I described it as a spanner the last time. What we're going to do is we're going to share a piece of track up this river, and then what it will do is it will split. Part of it will go to Coburn, part of it will come into Hetton, and then at this end as well it will split. Part of it will go to Thaxted, and part of it will go to Newtown Abbott. So this is going to be quite a complex project, but we are going to go ahead and achieve it. It might take a while to build, and we might go ahead and release it in sections, because based on what I just said with regard to splitting up other lines, there's going to be 5 separate lines on this. The Newtown Abbott bits, which is going to also stop at this station here, which the Portish Head is doing very well, may I add. That's airport, and it's going to call in at a new station here. Then there'll be a second line which goes from here to the town of Thaxted. Then there's going to be a line which goes from here up the river, and it's going to terminate up here-ish. And then there's going to be a separate line number 4 going up to Coburn, and line number 5 going to Hetton. So a lot of work is going to go into this, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm very, very excited for. Right, the underground in Hetton, before we start building, I'm thinking we could possibly integrate into this system. But the thing is, it's also not profitable yet, and it really, really bugs me. I don't know why I was in trams there. I was maybe thinking in the back of my head it was a tram. The thing is, the frequency is extremely high. It's like a tram, but it's just not a tram. That's the thing, you don't get underground tram stations. I mean, if you do get underground tram stations, please tell me, because I will change it to type tram. But it's type train right now. I think the problem is it's with the actual train car it is. If we go via... is it electrical? It should be. Or is it diesel? No, it's diesel. What is your running cost per year? Your running cost per year is quite high. It is, for a capacity of 20, it's 410k. Is there anything which is a much smaller running cost? I mean, you are, but you don't go at very fast speeds. Saying that, there isn't much difference, but the rail bus could work. The PA1, you've got a much slower running cost, and you're the same capacity. You do go at a much slower speed, though. What about the PA1 here? 62 miles per hour, 20 capacity. Yeah, you know what, let's go for this one here, because it's just going to go ahead and lower those running costs, something which I want to aim for much cheaper. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So that's, that wasn't what I wanted to do though. Well, at least we've selected the type of upgrade train here. So let's go ahead and change you. Let's go in via electric. You're diesel, aren't you? PA1, and it's this more modern 2007 version of the PA1. Doesn't go as fast, but I'm thinking just because we're stopping so frequently, I don't think there's going to be much of a chance for the train to pick up much speed. I'm just really looking for a much lower running cost, and we're going to save about 170,000, I think, going forward. So let's go ahead and replace now. There's a possibility we could go ahead and try and integrate the system in going forward, but I'm not at all sure. Unfortunately, I mean, Hetton Airport is now busier again, which is odd. I think it was due to the fact that the routes that were coming into Hetton, Kendal received an upgrade, Doncaster didn't. Doncaster was already quite big. No, they both did. So it was probably traffic issues, which we were finding. But anyway, that should make a difference. Right, let's get this project started. Now, it's not going to be easy at all based on current lines along here. Also, I don't know how we're going to get a station in here for that matter. So it's all going to have to be quite interesting indeed, unless we keep it on this side of the river. Yeah, that's what we should do, definitely. Right, okay, let's get this station underway. So it's going to need to be a 1, 2, 3 platform station. We're going to go for 240, and it's going to be above ground for that matter. Train station, 3 platforms, let's go for 320, build for the future, just in case. So this is where this is going to be here. And that works out fine. So what we can have here is, we can have, we'll use the middle platform as the platform which goes down the river. So this is going to come, and I want to see if we can achieve this. I don't want a crossover though. I want maybe you to go under first of all, and then loop round. The problem is with Coburn, Coburn's going to be the really difficult station to build, so we'll do that line second. What we'll do is we'll do the easy line, so this one's going to go into the Hetton Bayside. So we're going to have you come out here. Now, this is where actually we might need you to not be as straight as you are. which is fine. So what we want to do is probably loop you through here. Gonna drop a bit of speed, but again, I don't know how much speed we will get on this track. And then you're gonna come along here. We're gonna temporarily have to delete this, but that is fine. So what we'll do is we'll run you through here, right along the waterfront, and then we're gonna have to delete a lot of houses here, but it is a risk that really always came with this train station. There is, amazingly, 4 platforms, but only 2 of them get used, and that is 1 and 3. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take over number 2. And we'll go ahead and run. I want to keep this right down by the water so I can allow for room for some building. I am very for that. So we'll go ahead and add the second platform out at... What is that done? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that there. So that means then this is a bit more... There's still a decent amount of room for building, let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and continue to weave and wind you along here. Though this is where we are going to have to just destroy a lot of buildings, but at least there's room for some, that's the main thing. And that goes very, very close to the water there. It weaves a bit, this snake, so it's probably not the fastest. But I mean, we're still above 100 all the way along there. And then we're going to go ahead and continue along and go into there like that. So, very weavy, but it is just the way the train line is going to be. Then we'll have you cross over successfully, which is good. Come under here, for that matter, and then this is where we're going to have some issues, aren't we? I think it's to do with this bridge, which is unfortunate. So what I can do is I can go ahead and address this issue by just making the change. So let's have you run into there like that, and then let's take from this node here and run you along. Basically, I've just gone ahead and changed up what side of the pillar, or what side of the original track we had that track is running. So as we can see now, we've got this new extension along here. So that's part 1 of 5 of this project. Big project, gonna take a while to happen. Okay, so, I mean, this is all gonna replace the buses in the end as well, which is a shame, because it was nice to have the buses revitalized, but for the time being, it's just gonna be the way it is. I mean, there are still going to be buses going into Thax. Thax is all built on buses right now, but it's just the buses can't cope anymore. So it's something which you're probably going to start to see quite a bit of. We're going to see quite a lot more trains going in. Okay, so from there, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this line here. So this line's going to be a lot more easy to build. It's going to be just a straight line. And it's going to come down the river. I'm really actually happy we decided to go ahead and build on this side of the river just because it avoids everything on that other side of the river. We're going to go through a short tunnel here. And then what we're going to do is go through another short tunnel. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. I think this is where I want to have the station roughly for the next junction. And then what we'd do is we'd have part of it branch off and go all the way over there. Then, with regards to coming out of Newtown Abbott, I want to try and join it into this station here. Though the problem is we're going to need to add in an extra platform, which is going to involve destroying lots of people's houses. Interesting to note though, I don't actually have a second street connection in here yet, which is kind of crazy. But that is something we can add. We're going to need to rejumble the platforms here and everything. So let me do that. That's made no difference to the current trains here, and let's also add in a second street connection there. And then, to try and restore some normality, I will connect up those roads there, and then hopefully people whose houses I just destroyed, they can sort of be replaced. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do here is... Well, this is going to be difficult realignment, especially based on this fact here. Things are, it's quite tight, this station actually, it's just how basically people built around it. What we're going to do is instead of you coming into platform 1, you're going to jump over to platform 3 now, going forward. So I need to wait until all trains are cleared, then we can go ahead and build our escape out of here. Though the thing is, this is going to have to stay on this side here because I'm going to want a second station in here. I know how this is going to work, it's just going to be really difficult to build. So if you can move out the way there, that's perfect. Please don't tell me there's another train coming in. There is another train coming in. Stop. Right, okay, that's fine. So, this is where things are going to be a bit more fun. So we're going to chase you out. and then we're going to actually destroy part of the bridge, which is fine. So what we're going to do is this last section here, you're now going to run into there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have this platform come out here, and that's the change. It's not a drastic change. What we do need to do though is change you from platform 1 to platform 3. As we can see, that's now updated, and all I need to do now for this change is add in a signal there, which is fine. Right, okay, so change sorted, quite happy about that. So that means we now have platform 1 free, which brings me my next headache. So from here we're going to come along and we're going to, quite a sharp bend here, which is fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to run this train line along by the coast, and you're going to go ahead and, can we get you under here? No, but we can get you to intersect here, which is fine. Though, would you build? That's a bit better. Too much slope. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild this bridge, because this bridge can be quite temporary, which is fine. Now, the next problem we've got is here, this docks, unfortunately. So we can go ahead and build across you. Yep, again, it's going to be kind of interesting how this goes. Gonna have to start to double up the track now, just based on the fact it's going to be quite a slow part of the line, this, but it's just due to the topology which we're trying to go for here. It's going to be quite a mega shape, and then also the landscape as well. The town is just naturally in the way. Towns grow, that's a trait of them. So this is where we are going to have some issues. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm temporarily going to delete this road. Don't know what that truck is connected to, do not ask me. We're going to have you come round here, and you can, yeah, connect onto there. That would be perfect, and then have you run into there. Right, so that's that resolved. Now if we can go ahead and try and get a road to there, and then get you to cross there. Perfect. Right, so that's everything underway, and now we can go ahead and build straight out here, which is good. Now, this might defeat the tram a little bit, I understand that, but hopefully not too bad. I think we've built that a bit long there. What we are going to do is just build back to there, so let me build in another train station. This one's only going to need 2 platforms, mind you. And you're going to go in, what, there? Like so. So we can have a, yeah, this should work out nicely actually. So you're going to run from there pretty much into there like so, and there like so. Now this is going to be the only branch of this new mega project which has 3 stations, just because of the airport basically though. I hope it doesn't actually decrease the demand for the airport. That's the one thing which kind of worries me. Then what you're going to do is you're going to continue up here a little bit, and you're going to jump over the other side of the river. So that is the next part which we're going to deal with. Now, I am very conscious of time, ladies and gentlemen. Time is not always on our side this episode. It's a massive project. It is going to take a long time to go ahead and do. We need, what, 3 platforms here? 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we do need 3 platforms here. So you'll run to there, and then you'll run into there like so, which is fine. Then what we need to do is platform 2. You're going to come along. You can just jump right across the river quite quickly, actually. So you can run to there, like so, yep. And then what you can do is you can curve around into collision. You can run into there, and then you should be able to fit in that gap just to no more, mind you. And then you're going to come, you're going to run along here. And then you're going to run in, we're going to go ahead and terminate you there, and then you're going to go into that, join up together, and you're going to use platform 2. Right, okay, so that is actually part of the line totally built, which is good. So you can now go by train from Newtown Abbott into this station where you'd have to change, then you'd have to change at this station, and then we go into there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the Thaxted branch next, which shouldn't be too bad. Now, Thaxted, interestingly, doesn't have a station yet, which is quite crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to build one. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some stuff there, and then we're going to go ahead and... Thaxted might land up having multiple stations, but there's going to be no one central station, just because of the way the town's going to be built, or has been built. So let's go for dead ends. Oh! It's got a tram stop down the side of it. I like it. I like it a lot. Though what else have we got? I think we're just going to go for not that, because Tram stop right beside it, I don't think it's going to work out too well here. So let's go for 320. Let's build you out like that, for example. You can probably see what I'm aiming for here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to have this line. I don't really want it to go up the hill, but it can run alongside the roads. Interestingly, this track is following roads quite a bit, actually, which kind of defeats the purpose. You're going to run along here, probably go through quite a large tunnel for that matter. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come to about here, and then you're going to go ahead and loop round, and this is going to cause some issues. Terrain alignment also, but when you're having a bridge so close to a tunnel, it can often cause a lot of issues. We're going to actually have to have you come into a tunnel like that, and there we go. So yeah, there was an issue there, but it was just to do with the tunnel and such. Again, your junction will have to start in the tunnel, and we'll be able to go ahead and double this up, which is fine. So I'll go ahead and do that at a later stage. In between this and the next episode, we'll go ahead and I'm going to double all tracks up that haven't been doubled, and I'm also going to signal everything up. I just want to show you how I'm building it, so we can go ahead and really... There's no surprises for you when you come back in the next episode. So finally what we're going to do is we're going to have you come under here like so. Then this is where things are going to get interesting. I would like to branch you over like that, though can we? Quite remarkably, we can have a crossroad on our bridge. I never knew this existed. Not that I've ever had to do anything like this before, but that works out not too bad there. Okay, so interesting. I like the look of it. This is going to make for an interesting thumbnail. Very interesting for that matter. I mean, look at this. Like, just tiny wee bars there. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, I'm not doubting it. It's gonna work, hopefully. So then we come across here. This is where things are gonna get interesting though, ladies and gentlemen. We need to go up this hill. That's the thing. Now, naturally, to go up this hill, it's not gonna be easy. We're gonna require a tunnel. I could follow the other line up, but I feel that's just not gonna be... It's not gonna happen. Though, we do need to start going up ASAP. I think I've modified stuff now a bit too much. So we get to here, then we need to start going up with the hill. Yeah, can we go up any faster than that? We can actually, which is quite interesting. It's just because we're going to go up so sharply all of a sudden. So let's go for that. Then all of a sudden, yeah, we're now falling behind, which isn't good. Now when you get up here, things are going to be difficult because where is the passenger station now? Passenger station is lower down, so I think it's going to be difficult to come out here. We could possibly come out under here. Though I think we might actually be better coming in from the other side, you know that. So what we're going to do is, what we've built now we're actually going to cancel. I didn't actually build it, which is good. I'm going to have you come out the other side here. I don't know how easy this is going to be to upgrade. But what we'll do for the time being is we'll just pretend that the platform's already built. What we'll do is we'll have a straight section like there. Then we can go ahead and start to... Realistically, what I want to do is something like, this is going to crash, this is going to crash, this is going to crash. I don't know what it's even done here, by the way, but my frame rate has severely dropped. It suggested that, which I can't build, funnily enough, because of the airport. Yep, I get that. How much would that cost? Yeah, 564 million. Crazy, right? What I really want to do is go for a really sharp bend like this, actually. Which is fine, and then what we can do is we can have this come through the mountain here. And then just travel, I mean you're going to travel through and on the mountain and all that sort of thing. What I would like to do is have you come to about here. Which is fine. Now this is the section where I think there's going to be way too much of a slope. Yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you get what I'm trying to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this episode up here. Hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a like rating. I'm going to have to play around with this. I think what we might have to do is actually come around the other side of the mountain. Because this isn't going to work the way it is. It's not going to work in the slightest. I'm actually going to have to delete most of this now. I think we're going to have to come around the other side of the mountain instead of going through it, because the gradient drop is just too much. And I also want to go ahead and not make the track too slow either. So what I think realistically is going to happen is we're going to go ahead and maybe we won't wrap this episode up if we can get this to work. So we'll have a short bridge come over here. I don't want to go up though. I realistically more want to go down the way. So let's have a small bridge and then let's cut through the mountain here. like that. So if we're in a tunnel anyway, we might as well go down the way. And then you come out halfway up the hill here, which is good. That's much more positive. So then what you'll do is, you're going to wrap to the mountain though. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this back. Just a little bit like so. And then we can do something like that there. Then have you come along here. So I mean, you're on the mountain side at least, which is good. And we're continuing down. Continue down like so. Now this is where things are going to get ugly. We've not come down enough. Right, I'd need to do this, ladies and gentlemen, at a different time because this is going to take me a long time to do. But I hope you have enjoyed it. Hopefully you can start to see what we're going for. Again, this sort of spanner look. Central connection together, and then it branches off at each end into different towns. Connecting up 4 different towns collectively. Arguably Thaxted and Coburn could probably be connected up much better via a more direct line, but this also allows Hetton and also Newtown Abbott to be connected in, and us to build 5 new train lines, which I'm very, very excited for. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.